Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 24th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about logical operators in PHP. So there are three logical operators in PHP: the logical AND operator, logical OR, and logical NOT. And these operators are mostly used to combine conditions and make more complex test conditions that are evaluated using statements like if and other selection statements. So I've got a file opened in my text editor. It's called logical.php. On line number 6 in this file, I have the opening PHP tag. On line number 24, I have the closing PHP tag. And then I have created a variable called num on line number 9, and I have given it the value 52. So let's say I want to check whether the value in the variable num is positive and if it is even. So let's say I want to check both those things using just one if statement. And the way I can do that is by first typing in my first condition, and that is to check whether the number is positive or not. We do that by typing the variable name and then the greater than relational operator and 0. So if the value is positive, then it has to be greater than 0. So that's the first test condition. And the second test condition, to check whether the number is even or not, we'll use the modulo operator. So we'll type in the variable name, the percentage symbol, which is the modulo operator, the number 2, because we want to check whether the number is even or not. So even numbers leave a remainder of 0 when they're divided by 2. So we are checking whether the remainder of this operation is 0 or not. And to check whether the value is the same as 0, we have the double equal to relational operator here. And once we have typed in both these conditions, we're going to place the ampersand symbol twice between the test conditions. So this is the logical AND operator, and it makes sure that the entire test condition evaluates to true only if this condition as well as this condition, if both the conditions evaluate to true, right? So that's the logical AND operator for you. And if this entire test condition would evaluate to true, then we'll get inside the if block, in which we have an echo statement that will display the message the number is positive as well as even. And then I've also echoed out a break tag so that the other lines in the output are displayed on fresh lines. So this is one scenario. Then I have another if statement on line number 15, and this one uses the logical OR operator. Now let's say we are now concerned with checking whether the number is either greater than 0 or even, right? So we want to know whether any one of those test conditions evaluate to true. So again, I have placed in both the test conditions first. Num is greater than 0 and num %2 is equal to 0. And if any one of these two test conditions is going to evaluate to true, this if statement as a whole is going to work, right? So the test condition is using the logical OR operator this time and not the AND operator. And the OR operator makes sure that it's not necessary that you can have just two conditions and you can combine just two conditions using the logical operators. You could actually have another test condition and combine it using the logical OR or the logical AND operator. And in that case, for the logical AND, it would make sure that the entire condition evaluates to true only if all the test conditions evaluate to true. But the logical OR operator just makes sure that any one test condition evaluates to true. And if this would evaluate to true, then we'll first display the message the number is positive or even or both. So it could be that one is true and the other is false, or this is true and this is false, or both are true, right? But any one has to be true. And then again I have echoed out a break tag. On line number 20, I have used the logical NOT operator, and this operator simply reverses the Boolean value of a test condition. So let's say I have a condition like this, num is less than 0, and if it's going to evaluate to true, then the logical NOT operator is going to change it to false. If it's going to evaluate to false, then it's going to change it to true, right? So essentially what we're doing through this if statement is we are checking whether the number is positive or not. So num less than 0 will evaluate to true only if the number is negative, which means that if it's like -6 or -10 or something. and having the exclamation symbol before the test condition actually reverses the truth value of the test condition. So essentially we are checking whether number is positive or not, and this entire thing is going to value to true only if this condition is going to fail, and this will fail only if the number is positive, right? So let me show you guys the output of this file in the browser, and the name of the file is logical.php, and there we go. We see the number is positive as well as even. The number is positive or even or both, and the number is positive, right? So let me change the value of 52 to -25, and I'll save this, and when I press the enter key I see nothing, and that's because all the conditions have failed now. You know, the AND operator has made sure that, you know, actually you know, both the conditions would evaluate to false in this case, because the number is firstly negative, so this condition is going to fail, and it's also an odd number, so this condition is also going to fail. If I change this to -26 and refresh the file in my browser, I see now that the number is positive or even or both. So although the AND operator has made sure that this if statement doesn't work, the OR operator has actually you know, led us to execute these two statements. You know, that is this if statement on line number 15, this one would actually execute, right? And if I would have a positive value and an odd number, well, actually, you know, this is an exercise that you should do. Make a program that's as silly as this, and, you know, just play around with values and see how these operators work, because it's very important. In real life programming, you would deal with conditions that are far more complicated than the ones that we checked out in this tutorial. You know, this is like nothing, but what you will do if you make a career for yourself as a programmer is going to be much more complex. So just make a script similar to this. You don't have to, you know, have the same scenarios. You could imagine, you know, different conditions. You could even play with characters and check if, you know, the character that you're working with is a special character, or a digit, or an alphabet, lowercase alphabet, uppercase alphabet, vowel, or consonant. So you could, you know, do such things, and you could use the logical operators and just play around, right? And in case you have any doubts, you can comment on this video and I'll reply as soon as possible. And you may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.